What's up, Juventini? Happy New Year's. It's January 1st and the Mercato opens up tomorrow, so the news naturally is heating up. We have a new name, a new potential target for Juventus in this winter Mercato in the attack to take a look at. We've got the latest on Kolo Muani. We've got the latest on Silva with Benfica throwing down the first obstacle for Juventus. We'll look at the status on that potential deal. Arthur Melo, is Juve going through the same nightmare all over again? The deal may be halted. We'll look at that, as well as, of course, the January fixture list, which is a nightmare, and some call him make or break as it stands. We're going to tackle it all together right now. I'm Berto, this is the AJC, your channel dedicated to Juventus. It's January 1st. Let's rock with the news, and we kick things off with a new name in the attack, and a bit of a hybrid there, which suits Motta, and naturally you get the news that Motta has already approved this move if Juve could complete it, and that is Marco Asensio. Marco Asensio, Juve could entertain the idea of approaching PSG with a loan with option to purchase. Now PSG could be enticed to do this because he's contracted until 2026, which means at the end of this season he enters his final contract year. They may not be looking to renew. They might take a deal that's already there in January, because even if we don't take up the option, they would have the summer to try and find an alternative. So this one, hey, it actually is probable. What do you think about Asensio? Let me know in the comments. When it comes down to some of the early reactions on this, some are saying just go to Olmo. Well, Barca has had their appeal rejected, and they can't, as it stands right now, register the player for the second half of the season. If a guy like Olmo was set to go and become a free agent, you have to take a shot, but he's going to get a lot of attention. So the probability on that, hey, maybe not too high, but you can't score if you don't shoot, right? Let's see. As far as Kolo Muani goes, high salary, 8 million euros appears to be what some of the hang-up could be if Juve goes that route, as PSG has zero intentions of assisting in that salary for the loan part of a deal if they were to accept a loan with option to purchase that Juve needs to get done to finalize these deals. The same thing we were just talking about Asensio. They want loan with option to purchase. So we just wait if they'll actually strike for Kolo Muani, but I feel like PSG is going to wait and still try to see if they get something finalized out of some of the Prem clubs that are showing interest. When it comes to Antonio Silva, well, Juve has received a rejection, all right? Yes, first offer already rejected. It was said to be 5 million euros for the loan portion and 30 million obligation to purchase, and that has been rejected, and that is not far off from the 40 million outright sale that Benfica wants to see for the player. So maybe sticking to their guns and wanting that extra 5 million euros. Not sure, but they have rejected us on the first offer. We wait to see how Juve strikes now, but it is being reported across the board Juve has zero intentions of giving up on bringing Antonio Silva in this January. Is that going to be the first move, or is an outgoing move going to be the first one for this Mercato? Again, it opens tomorrow. It's open until February 3rd. What's your prediction for the first move that gets finalized by Juventus? Hit me in the comments. Arthur Melo, could he be the first move? Could it be an outgoing? Well, now we have complications, and we could be facing a nightmare situation all over again, and that is being unable to move this guy. Real Betis has been linked forever with the player and said to be closest and having an agreement with Arthur to finalize this move, but now all of a sudden things could come to a screeching halt, and that is because Real Betis has an agreement with Arthur, but they also have an agreement with Enzo Lefebvre from Roma. They have an agreement with both players. They do not have an agreement with Juventus as far as Arthur's salary goes. And now this could open the door for Roma to finalize the sale that they want to make. And then we would be back at square one on Arthur Melo, all right, which would be brutal considering he had a ton of interest, but the last little bit has been focused on this move to Real Betis. But thankfully, he did have 4 other squads interested, but it never really came out how Artur felt about those other squads. Going back to Spain and Real Betis is what he apparently wanted. So we could be running into a disaster all over again, but that's where that one stands. Right now, it's a battle to see who finalizes with Real Betis, Roma or Juventus. Let's see. As far as January goes, this is the fixture list. We know what's to come, and it starts this Friday against Milan in the Supercopa. I want to know from you, where do you see us finishing up this gauntlet at the end, all right? In Supercopa, in Champions League, and in Serie A. I'm just going to put this out there, and you guys know me, forever the optimist, all right? Supercopa, we make the final. Let's see what happens. Champions League, I actually think it's going to be 1 win and 1 loss. Serie A, I'm going to say 2 wins, and I'm going to say 2 draws. That's my prediction. You guys know the drill. Lay it out for me what you think is going to go down in this gauntlet. That is your news break. Everybody, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, join our AJC army in covering the best damn club in the world, Juventus, and let's have some fun. Until tomorrow's edition, as always, fino alla fine, forza Juventus, ciao tutti.